Greetings, this is Oilfield Innovations, and this video explains our vertical skate cutter's roller swivel subassembly. Assembly starts by screwing the orientation lock nut onto the upper connector. The orientation lock nut will later be screwed down to lock in the orientation of the assembly. The next optional step is to slide a slick washer over the shaft of the upper connector. The slick washer is used if you do not need to roll the assembly along the bottom part of the tubular. The alternative step is to slide the optional roller assembly over the stem of the upper connector. The optional roller assembly is primarily used when you split tubing. These optional steps are followed by sliding the hanger for the lower assembly onto the shaft of the upper connector. This hanger can rotate around the shaft of the upper connector so as to orientate the lower part of the assembly relative to the upper part. This hanger that can be used to rotationally orientate the lower part of the assembly is held on by the hanger nut. The hanger nut is screwed onto the shaft of the upper connector. This allows the hanger to rotate on the internal nut to orientate the lower part of the bottom hole assembly. The hanger threads can then be screwed onto the lower connector. This bottom connector can then be screwed onto subassemblies below the roller swivel. The hanger, the bottom connector, and any connected subassembly can then be orientated. This rotation and orientation is locked down before use of the tool. The actuation shaft is then slid into the roller swivel assembly where it is free to move. Once the remaining tooling is screwed onto the bottom connector, they are rotated and orientated relative to the upper connector. The loose locking nut is then tightened to prevent any further movement or orientation. Tightening the locking nut then fixes orientation between the upper connector and the lower connector. Finally, if for any reason the orientation swivel becomes loose and the internal nut backs off, the actuation shaft running through the central part of the tool is still screwed together and will hold the tool together. That concludes our video. Thank you for watching.